Well, thanks Eliza, and thanks to Landcare and the South Australian Government for holding this event. I've travelled from Albury, New South Wales to come here, and it's great to finally get a chance to look at the South Australian landscape, which I have only done when I was in my teens, going on a holiday from Victoria to South Australia, which I don't think I paid much attention, so it's great to finally see the landscape and get to understand South Australia. So today, collaborative farming. I'm really interested to hear the other presenters today. This is a passion of ours. Collaboration, from our point of view, especially from an aspiring farmer's point of view, is key to you guys owning a farm if that is your dream. I don't think you can do it on your own. That is why you need to be good at collaborating. The focus of my presentation is around changing mindsets. So we're all about making it possible for anyone to own a farm, and what we're saying now is no longer how much money you have that determines whether you're going to be a farmer. It's what your mindset is and how hard you're willing to work. And that's going to be the whole thesis of this discussion today, that anybody here who has $10 in your bank account could become a farmer and live the dream. So we're saying to aspiring farmers, this is about how much you're willing to hustle. How hard are you willing to work? What are you doing between 5 PM at the end of your job and midnight to help get you onto your farm? How many emails are you sending? How many people you are harassing? It is absolutely possible, and I'll outline practical steps around that. That's the summary, so I'm going to unpack all that. So how is farm ownership possible? So Cultivate Farms, we do the matchmaking. Match the aspiring farmer with a retiring farmer and investors to own and operate a farm together. It's about conversations. We did think about calling ourselves eFarmony, but obviously it's too corny. But the idea is purely getting people around a kitchen table who have the same sort of values and to work through how much equity they have, what their hopes are for the farm, how the farm is going, how's it going to make money, what are your skills, how do we grow this business, and get their advisors and their lawyers and accountants and their mates involved as well and figure out a really great arrangement. It's all we do is bring the people to have the conversation, and we want those people to figure out a great arrangement. So what we do in the details around matchmaking, there's a few other things we do, which is around creating hope, getting you farm ready, and then the matchmaking itself. So these 3 themes I'm going to use to discuss each of those 5 areas I talked about at the start around retiring farmers, investors, etc., and aspiring farmers. So here's the download of all the practical advice that you can use right now. You don't need us to make this happen. So please get your notepads out and get scribbling furiously. But the whole idea of hope, just before I go there, is it's about a lot of the time what we do with aspiring farmers is have these conversations saying you can be a farmer, and you just see lights go in people's heads that they're thinking, oh, what? I would love to be a farmer. I'll quit my job teaching tomorrow if I could be a farmer. So there's this barrier that's in front of people's eyes that they're thinking, no, I can't be a farmer, that's impossible. I'll go do this other job, or I'll be an agronomist. Nothing wrong with agronomists. And they're not living their dream. So we're saying, get rid of that. It is now actually an absolute reality. So get dreaming and have hope. Then we're saying, once you've got hope, now go get farm ready. If you're not good enough, you're not going to get on a farm. So make sure you've got the skills, make sure you've got the networks to be able to run a farm, a profitable farm. But without that hope, why would you go get farm ready? So we're saying get your hope, we'll then help you get farm ready. And then once you're ready and we're finding farms just for you, let's get you on there, let's get you matched and you're off and money. So aspiring farmers, hope. Here's just some practical steps around what you should be doing to get that hope in your head. And number one thing is writing things down. And it sounds pretty basic, but I think it's so powerful, is that we want people to write down what it is you actually want to go and farm. Because if an opportunity comes to us that you can go farm in Ururu, and you're not ready because you haven't written down your plan, what a waste. But if you're mentally prepared and you know what you want and you're happy to go to Ururu, fantastic, you're off. But without you understanding what you want, this is simple stuff, you're not going to be able to go and do it. And we've had people say to us, oh, that's not quite the right farm for me, I'm sorry. And that's fine, but also we want to make sure you guys are ready, that when opportunities are there, you're ready to go. So it's a big one. We want to know, are you actually hungry? There's a lot of people out there say, yeah, I'd like to be a farmer, it sounds romantic, but are you actually ready for this? And are you desperate enough? And again, what are you doing between 5 PM and midnight every night to hustle to get on your farm? Because it's going to be hard work to get there, but this is your life. How much are you willing to work for it? It's like any business. You're an entrepreneur, you would work crazy hours. Why aren't you working crazy hours yourself as an aspiring farmer to make your dream a reality? talk it out. I often find it, you ask somebody what they want to do with their lives and they say, oh, I want to be a farmer. They're really shy about it. And you think, why are people talking about it? At every dinner party, you should be telling people, I'm going to be a farmer, have you got a farm? You should be out there talking to as many people as you can, because how else are people going to find out that you want to be a farmer unless you're telling them? I just think it's ridiculous that we've got this culture or this attitude that you don't tell people your dreams because people shoot you down. Yeah, people will shoot you down, but again, how much do you want this? You should be out there just hustling all the time, telling people and talking it out. And this last one here, you should be meeting regularly with people who are like-minded, because there's a lot of people who think you're crazy wanting to be a farmer, but there are a lot of other crazy people out there who will back you, so make sure you hang out with those people. Farm ready. Now that you know you want to be a farmer and you're pumped up and you're telling everybody, you need to know if you've got the skills. So if we're matching you with retiring farmers who have spent their whole life putting their effort into this soil, they don't want just anybody walking off the street to manage their farm. So you've got to make sure you've got the right skills. So you've got to get there, have you got the right skills and improve them. That means taking courses, online courses, going to university, but I don't know how useful university is sometimes. This means working on farms. Check out Ag Draft, awesome website to match you for farm jobs. Build up your farming CV. Get a lease. I know it's really hard and that's another issue we can talk about, but getting even some sort of lease and having some cattle or some chickens or whatever, but showing that you're ready to have a crack, I think is a massive thing. And when I talk to investors, they're always, half of what they're thinking about with the investment is the person and whether they're actually having a crack. I was talking to a pig farmer just before actually, and she says she's got a business mentor. She's had one for the last 5 years. And I just think that's awesome. That is a sort of thing, that sort of mindset that you need to have if you want to take over a multi-million-dollar business and own it. And the last one here, I think is, I don't think business in general realises the power of social media, let alone aspiring farmers. But you as aspiring farmers, if you do not have a Facebook page, an Instagram account, a Snapchat page, any of those or all of those, then you're really missing out on your ability to get onto your farm. You need to be out there creating content around you becoming a farmer, documenting your journey around the skills you're learning, the farm you want to be on, the people you're meeting, the photos that you're taking out on other people's farms that you want to farm on. You need to be creating content to get people's attention because if people don't know you want to be a farmer, they're not going to bring you farm opportunities, and the power's right in your hand. Right now, you guys would rather be on your phone, on Facebook, than listening to me. Everyone's on it. That is where people are, and if you're not creating content on there, people aren't going to hear about what you want to do. So we just emphasize so much that you should be on there documenting your journey, building an audience, and audience equals opportunities. I think the next generation of farmers, if you don't realize the power of social media, then you've been sleeping for the last 10 years. You're on it all the time. Why aren't you using it to your power, to your advantage? I just think that's so massive. And we're trying to do this as well with Cultivate Farms. We're getting Tim and Tegan, who are the first farmers to be matched on their farm. We're just getting Tim to do Facebook Live updates, just talking about what's happening on this lease farm to show people how great it is to be a farmer, but also so people will see it. And he's getting feedback all the time saying, oh, I saw you on your video the other day, Tim, and it opens a discussion around, well, this is just a lease farm, we're after a real farm. Let us know if you've got one. And that, I think, again, is just so powerful to open doors for these conversations. And then matchmaking, and Eliza, make sure you chase me up with time as well. Matchmaking. So this is now, you've got the hope, you've got all the skills you need. Now, a lot of this is over to you. So we're going to find farms, but this is, again, over to you. Treat this like being a farm entrepreneur. Be realistic as well, that this will probably take 5 years. It could take 10 years, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be hustling absolutely every day to make it happen. But be realistic that this could take some time to find that right retired farmer or the right person who might be able to back you financially. You should know the landscape. You should be better than a real estate agent in understanding who is going to move, who's going to stay, and how long it is that they're going to leave the land. I've had people say to me, oh, well, this farm was up for sale the other day, I can't believe it. It's like, that's pathetic. You should have known 3 years ago that they were going to sell. You should be on top of it. You should have already been there over dinner every week for the last 6 months, talking about how you can help on the farm or what you can do to be a great support and have conversations. You should You should know every banker, lawyer, accountant, agronomist, other experts in agriculture who know the landscape. You should know all of them and have them on speed dial and hassle them every single time you see them and say, what's happening with the landscape, who's moving, who's not, who's going to retire, who's going to step back. You should know everything. Again, if you don't know this, how are you going to jump onto opportunities and hit your name out there? And that's again why I'm saying this is about hustle. This is just about being creative in your thinking. There are people out there with land, there's people out there with money. You just need to be the person to say, I can farm this for you and with you. I'm the best, pick me. Put your audience to work. Well, now you've got a social media following, you should be out there hustling saying, guys, remember, what do I say every Friday? Find me a farm, or whatever it is, but using your audience who are out there being your eyes and ears to find you farms as well. And media, why don't you go to the local newspaper and say, guys, it is the worst time to be a young farmer in Australia, this region. No one's giving me any opportunities. All I want is this. Get an article in the front page of the newspaper, do whatever, be the commentator on all things young farmer or new farmer in your community. Use the media. People love that sort of stuff. Use it to your advantage and get your face out there. But this is absolutely the number one thing we want all our aspiring farmers to do, is to be an entrepreneur and to pitch farms. So there's a template on our website, which I need to find a better link for, but it is available. Just send me an email, which has a template, and we're turning this into an online farm pitching marketplace. It'll be live next year, where you'll be able to sit there, find a farm off realestate.com.au, pull a proposal together about why you're the best farmer, why this farm's worth it, and how you're going to farm it. And we'll take that next day, that'll be in front of an investor. And you could be on your farm in the next month or two. And to me, that is just absolute power in your hands. Coming back to how much do you really want this? Do you have the skills? Can you pitch a farm? So we want you downloading this template, and we're even playing in this sandpit area on our website every night between 5 p.m. and midnight, writing why you are the best farmer and figuring out how to pull together a profit and loss statement, how to figure out the marketing, and how to make sure you can run a profitable farm. Because there is no more, are there any barriers to you getting onto your farm, because there's no excuse anymore that you don't know investors or you don't know any retiring farmers. You just go on realestate.com.au and pitch a farm, and we can help find the investors for you to get onto your farm. So that, I think, we just love it so much, and we just want people to really grasp what is now available to anybody who wants to be a farmer. You'll probably need to pitch 5 times a year, maybe 10 times a year, because your first pitch will be terrible. But just keep going, that's what entrepreneurs do.